Or they don't, you're always connected, well, almost always connected to the grid. So you're still going to get a connection charge from the utility company. Depending on the utility company, it's anywhere from $5 to $10, even if you don't have any net usage. But yes, there are people who are not paying anything.
How long does the battery last? Like, say we have 4 or 5 days with no sun, constant rain, clouds, that kind of thing. How long does that battery last? And then would you pick up public service with the difference of the usage? You know.
How long does a tank of gas last you?
You have your air on in the summer.
I have a customer who has 6 batteries. He wants to use Pico as little as possible, but he also paid $100,000 for it. I would say generally, if you only have 1 battery, I would not recommend putting your air conditioner on. Even if it does, your battery will be drained fairly quickly if you were running the AC.
And what do they do with the batteries? Like after, say somebody doesn't have to want to get on that solar, are these batteries? How do they get rid of them? Are they biodegradable, or are they just put them in the landfill somewhere? Or what do they do with them?
Everything has an environmental impact. Do they recycle these? I guess it depends. They can pull stuff but do they do that? I don't know. Do they recycle our plastic containers? I don't know. Everything has an environmental impact. Burning coal.
Because I think I was reading in China or Japan or somewhere where they have the sidewalks covered with solar panels, and it takes care of the street lights and the different things. I mean, if you took them off my house and I didn't want them anymore, could somebody do something like that?
There was one company they called it cradle to cradle. It would basically, from the creation of the panel to recycling it and remaking, using those components. That company's out of business now, but like anything else, they would recycle what they can, hopefully. And yes, there are some solar streets where the streets are capturing the sunlight, creating energy.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the technology is there. It's just the will or the cost of what does it get you, what does it give you.
Don't want you to have that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the grid is getting so strained that the utilities now are seeing the value of people having solar and people having batteries, because they're actually not here yet, but in California, they're actually paying homeowners money to be able to access their batteries and pull power out of it when they need it. And in return, they compensate you for that.